Alright, so today I simply must review Blood of Zeus. This is a animation on Netflix. There's one season, so this is a season 1 review. Um, I just finished it, and I think that it was really good at the start. I think it's had a lot of setup and a lot of kind of world building, and it was going great. But then I'll have to say, the last 2 or 3 episodes go by so fast. It just it almost feels like they ran out of money. Like they got done with the first 6 episodes, and then they realized, we have to make something cool happen. And so there was like this whole stretch where it was just music and all this stuff was happening, and I was confused because it was going by so fast, and it was nothing like the rest of the show. At first, there was all this setup, all this character development, all this kind of interesting stuff going on, and then all of a sudden it just goes warp speed all the way through the end, and basically there's a giant battle, and I feel like the battle was cool, but it just got there so fast that I just had whiplash, and so I wasn't super invested in it. And I think it had good monster design for the most part. I know most of the stuff is just coming out of Greek mythology, but I appreciate how they had all the background gods. They all had unique looks, and I think that they did cool costumes. The characters, for the most part, the main character was kind of bland. I didn't see anything really interesting happening with him, and then the Amazonian didn't really do anything other than have some kind of a past that was hinted at, but we didn't get to actually learn about it. And then the 2 criminals who ended up helping him were pretty cool. But the same thing is, like, they didn't really go through any sort of like character arc. I feel like it, and I'm not always super a stickler about that. I think you can have the character who knows what they want to do, and then they have to make tough choices and go through the ordeals. But I think my main problem with this show was just like there was all this neat setup, and then it felt like the payoff just wasn't there. And I was kind of checking it out. It says they're planning on more. It seems self-contained enough that you could just watch that season and be kind of satisfied. They kind of set up a different season at the ending and revealed that maybe Hades is behind it all again, which was kind of disappointing because the people always do that with Greek mythology in the modern day. They're always, Hades is the penultimate baddie, And I kind of just like the idea that maybe he's not, he's just a regular guy. And I thought they were going to go that way, like he's just another one of the gods who didn't want to get involved in the like civil war, which the civil war was very brief and kind of off to the side. But yeah, ultimately I think this show had some interesting ideas, and it had some cool creature design and like costumes, right? Because they're animated, but a lot of that stuff seemed really fleshed out. But it didn't seem like the story was planned ahead of time. Almost, it felt like they got really into the story, and then they're like, "Oh no, we only have 2 episodes. Like, go, 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 go! We have to get as much cool stuff in as fast as possible." And then that cool stuff doesn't land because there's no tension or build up to it. And so ultimately, I think I'm interested to see more. I was a little bit confused about the mechanics of the universe. How Zeus just decides to go supernova and blow up. Like, I guess I didn't really get, because they talk about the gods being like, I don't know, I guess that the gods are just people who live a long time and are extra big. So that was a little bit confusing. But, and they have powers. So they're basically just superheroes, I guess. Ultimately, it was alright, but I wouldn't probably, I'm not like sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for the next season. I will say I enjoyed a lot of stuff like the bear feeding the baby. That was peak Greek mythology right there. How the bear lays down and the baby starts sucking on its teat. That was peak. That got me very interested in the earlier episodes, but then it kind of waned. And I was just kind of like, this seems like it's taken a long time to get through the ending because of this weird kind of like hyper acceleration of the plot. But yeah, I think I'm going to ultimately give it a 4 out of 12.